Hi everyone, it's Matt from Tubby Tarot. Welcome to another 10 Talk Tuesday. Hi, tell me something. How do you respond to change? Do you embrace change or are you a little bit afraid of change? How does change affect you? Um, do you get stressed if things change? Do you get like that excited feeling, And often when we talk of change, we talk of, gee, you know what? I'm changing my residence. I'm moving from one house to another. So that can be very stressful. That sort of change, that change in environment and the change of location. And especially for people who are younger watching this, I know there are not that many of you, but I'm sure there are some who are perhaps in college or even high school. Change of location is even more stressful because you have to kind of get a new set of friends. You have to adjust to a new school environment or college environment. It's very difficult. And of course, it is entirely up to how you deal with change, how your acceptance and your experiences are going to be. Even people who are moving from one education system to another. So if you're going from college into university, or in South Africa, we just have high school and then university. We don't have that intermediate college phase. It's very stressful because it's very different. So again, you have this incredibly different environment. But also, let's talk about a sort of personal change, the change of you as a person. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat that when you change as a person, it is a hugely stressful thing. We can go through our lives in this rut. Most human beings do. We go through our lives in this rut. We get to an age where we wake up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we go to work, we come home, we have dinner, watch a bit of TV, read a bit of our book, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, brush our teeth, go to work. Do you see where I'm going with this? And most people get into this, okay, this rut. To break out of that rut, to change that rut is very difficult. But personal change is painful. It's not something that a lot of us want to do because to change, you have to look at where you are now. You can't change something that you don't know about. So if you are struggling with overeating, you have to accept that fact. You have to accept and acknowledge, I have a problem with food. And then you have to decide, I'm going to change that. And most of us just dive into the first diet we can see. That's not how it works. Change is incremental. You have to start with a small one little step and take it from there and build and build and build. But most of us are so afraid of taking that first step. And I know I'm one of those people, and I've experienced this, that we just don't take that step. One of the fears, of course, and this is something that I've, again, personally experienced, and I know for a fact many of you have, the moment we decide to change, we see all the negative things that we've been doing, or we see all the things that other people have expected us to do. And this is a very big part of change, is that when you decide to change as a person, people stop and they go, what is wrong with you? Why are you changing? You've really changed. And I'm talking about change for the better here. I'm not talking about going backwards. This channel is all about positivity and moving forward. So I'm talking about change for the better. And often what happens is, let's say you are one of those easily sort of stamped on people. You're always the person who pays for the bills or pays the bills at dinner. You're always the person who says sorry first. You're always one of those people that go, when you bump into someone or when someone bumps into you at the grocery store, you go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, fuck that, man. It's they bumped into you. Why are you apologizing to them? I was like that. There are so many of us out there. It doesn't make us a bad person, but you know what? You can change. So one day you decide, you know what, stuff this for a joke, I'm actually going to change. I'm not going to be that person that apologizes for other people bumping into me at the grocery store. I'm not going to be the person that apologizes for saying to someone at the other couple at dinner, excuse me, like, how much are you guys putting in? My share is X, Y, and Z, and plus I'll put a tip in. Okay. people suddenly notice that and they take offense to that because people are comfortable with you the way you are. The moment you change, they immediately realize, hold on, something's happening here. And it makes them feel threatened. And I'll tell you why. Because people like to see other people in a certain light. The moment you change, you're going to people are going to be threatened. Not everybody, but the people especially who've come to expect things of you, those people who just take advantage of you or take you for granted, those are the people that are going to be afraid of this change because they know that they are screwed now. You've cottoned onto that and you've decided you're going to stand up for your own rights. People don't like people who stand up for themselves. They say, you're rude. They say, you're being nasty. They say, wow, she's become such a bitch. Have you ever had that? Have you ever actually stood up for yourself and suddenly people are like, wow, what a bitch, you know? Or what an asshole if you're a guy and you actually stand up for yourself and say, no, actually, you know what, fuck you. I will be like, you know, playing squash with George and not with John because, you know, I always play with John and John always cheats. And John, I know you cheat, so I'm going to play with George. And John's like, you know, what an asshole. He's like, oh, you know. I'm sure you've all experienced that. And I think it's good to experience that. Because if you do experience that negative reaction, it means you are doing something right. You are changing for the better. And those people are seeing it and it threatens them. So how do you approach change? Do you embrace change? Or do you look upon change as a very frightening thing, a very frightening challenge, you know? Please let me know down below in the comments what change means to you. And I am talking about personal change, not moving house. And let's see if we can find some common ground here. I'm sure many of you share the same fears, the same excitements, the same embracings. So let's share that. Let's start reading what other people say. I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot, and I will see you next Tuesday for some more 10 Talk.